This is the Conspiracy Commission Podcast.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Conspiracy Commission. Today's topic, David Icke, very popular conspiracy researcher, author, public speaker.
Yeah, definitely a renegade journalist.
Free thinker.
Ex-footballer. Goalie. Ex-sports commentator.
Going into this, I was kind of curious to see if he was kind of like an asset, Illuminati asset.
I thought he was a plant.
Like a plant.
Yeah, I thought he was a plant.
And I don't know, after hearing more of his ideas and him like talk on some of his principles and the fact that I feel like he's kind of been demonized, especially when you look at headlines of him where they talk about him being like
a kook.
Yeah, a kook, crazy. I'm the son of God. He claims to be the son of God.
Apparently, we're all sons and
daughters of God. I feel like a lot of his ideas are kind of taken out of context, and all of the Jewish stuff that he talks about.
No way, the media would never take things out of context.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like my perceptions has been shifted a little bit. I definitely love a lot of his ideas.
Yeah, I mean, to sum it up in a nutshell, he's definitely against the system.
Definitely against the system.
I'll tell you that.
And takes a real broad look at everything and fucking just goes way out there with it. And it's real cool.
Very interesting dude.
He's connecting dots in his own words.
He's a dot connector.
Without further ado, we got a nice little audio clip here of David Icke just talking about who he is. A life story of David Icke.
Because I think it's a perfectly appropriate place to start. Because I remember watching you when I was a kid on the morning television program.
That's right, breakfast television. Well, I was born in Leicester in the English Midlands in 1952. It was what they call in Britain a working class family. That just means we never had any money. I had a great childhood because I didn't have phones, I didn't have computers. I just had the world to explore. My time as a kid was spent playing football and watching steam trains, basically. And I remember my first day at school, a little infant school. I went to school in the morning. My mother said I had to go. I didn't know what it was all about. School, what's all that about?
What's that all about?
And at lunchtime, I'd had enough. So I ran home. Lunchtime on my first day, and I said to my mother, no, I don't like that. I'm not going back. I said, I want to go down the shops like we always do, you know what I mean? She said, oh, you got to go. And so I had to go and stick it. I wasn't a confident lad.
Pause real quick.
And
dude, that's like the programming that he's talking about, right? That's the Matrix, man. You got to go.
You have to.
Without questioning it.
You have to.
That's what everyone does.
Everyone has to go. But I mean, if you think about it, right? I mean, let's be real, right? Like, you don't go to school. You don't learn how to read. You don't know how to write. You come in contact with people who do learn how to read, learn how to write. And now all of a sudden you're looked at as something different, right?
I'm not saying that no education is good, right?
Right.
But the way that the current education
right, because it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope, right? I mean, when you start conversating about it, right? Because you were like, he's against going to school. He's against it. And it's like, all right, well, if you can't read and write and you're in society, I mean, that's going to be evident. People will be able to tell. Yeah. And you'll stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
That you're not normal.
But it's not like, again, it's not the idea of don't educate yourself, right?
Right,
it's the idea of the current system, the rigidity of the current system. You're going to learn these things, even if you're not interested in learning these
maybe
things.
It's time to start to re-look at some of the systems that were implemented a very long time ago. Maybe said systems need to be rewritten and reworked, because times change, right? I mean, we're not still building cars the same way we built cars. Not that the way we built cars was a good or a bad way, right? It's just now we build cars to be more cost effective, right? We build cars to not last as long, right? Because that's not efficient for the person who's building the car, right? They want you to buy more cars.
Right, like we get like it kind of goes
like
into
it just goes into a different argument. That's all. I mean, it starts to like gravitate into a different type of, because it's not the same foundation argument that we were having, right? It's not lizard people and they're trying to program you. now we're having this conversation of it turning into something else. Like, if we're all dumb, then nobody could build cars, right?
True.
I mean, nobody could.
I don't think he would agree that like
Right.
you shouldn't pursue an education.
Right, but I
you
mean,
should.
all I'm saying is it's a slippery slope when we start to talk about it, right? Because his idea is like, well, if we stood up to the system, right, then the system would benefit everyone. How could it benefit everybody, right, when there has to be different tiers of different people that do different things, right? I mean, if every single person got paid to do the same exact thing and across the spectrum everybody did more and less than one another, how could they all be paid equally? Right. I mean, I just think it's slippery. It gets into a crazy thing. And it's a conversation that surely needs to be had. I mean, because how much is enough? Like, how many billions of dollars should a company make? Right. Like, how much more money do they need? You know what I mean? How much should a CEO make? And what does a CEO's job consist of that allows him to make X amount of dollars, which in turn ends up fucking up the money supply for everyone else.
Gripes with like the whole like capitalist system.
Well, this is the system. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So the system, and I agree with that. I don't know. Maybe the lizard thing's a little. I mean, I guess we can get into Saturn.
What if like what you guys are claiming as the brainwashing, or what he was saying, like he didn't want to go to school because it was the programming. What if that was just an evolution of like a natural, like when we were hunter-gatherers, right? If you were a male over a certain age or a certain physical part,
you went out and you hunted.
You went out and you hunted.
Who's to say that the hunters didn't argue about going out and
They
hunting?
want you to go out and hunt.
You're supposed to hunt for your family.
You're supposed to stand still, build cities, and grow the food.
What do you mean you just want to sit around and grow flowers?
I'm not crazy.
But as we got smarter and there were more jobs and more creation, right?
There was more shit to bitch about.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
You know, while the parents or while the dad was off hunting,
I think
and
if you asked him
was off gathering berries and stuff, the kid was like, you know what? We walk this path all the time. I'm going to move all these rocks out of the way.
David Icke, if you could ever please just come on our show and just hang out with the peasants for a day or two, we'd love you and appreciate it. We have some questions to ask, you know.
Give us a 10-hour speech, please.
You know, I mean, just help us out with our content, point us in the right direction.
I think he would definitely talk about, like, I don't know if it was Rockefeller or one of the fucking families, right, that had a huge influence in how the school system was kind of reshaped and set up in the fucking early 1900s. Mm-hmm. And I think like that's the type of like rigid system that he would like try and go against. Like I forget which one of them's fucking like quoted as saying it, but it's like it's not to educate you, right? It's to churn out employees for.
Well, that's how it started, right?
Well, yeah, you
had factories that needed people to know how to use the machinery.
They literally said in the 1950s you were going to grow up and you were either going to sit behind a desk or you were going to stand in a warehouse. Okay, that's what you were going to do. Okay, because manufacturing and everything, and that's what was huge at the time.
That's the type of like control program thing that obviously like I think he's against, right? You know what I mean? Like there's no that's a very rigid set of like instructions, right, to fit into like the system at that time.
I mean, I guess I could argue. I guess I could argue that yes, that would be his view because he views the system as something that is just in control and dumbing you down to keep you here,
right? To just use you to be exploited by the system. Like this is why you're going to be exploited by the business.
Because you know, and then it's like I have a couple clips that he had put out of. You know, him stating that, you know, the monetary system was designed to keep you in check, you know, just like the kings and the queens. There you go. That's your evidence of the 1% before they were called the 1%. They were called kings and queens. But that is solely the 1%. And what makes them so royal and you not so royal?
Well, they're Illuminati Draco blood, of course, dude. They're the hybrids.
Back to the reptilians again.
They're destined to be our
back
rulers.
to the lizard, and big shout out to our lizard. Big shout out to our lizard. Couldn't be here today.
Fortunately, he didn't feel comfortable during this episode.
Yeah, it was a little too much for him. Plus the Lizzie, he's got a lot of stuff to do. He's been running around doing a lot of things now. You know,
we're not saying that
busy
he was
lizard.
told not to be here from the top down.
Absolutely not.
The
We're
fourth
not saying
dimension
that.
had nothing to do with it.
We're not saying that. He would have
No
definitely
fifth
loved to
dimensional
be
activities.
here.
Right,
Shout
I
out
think-
to my Lizzie.
I think he said he had to jump to the 7th dimension. That's why he couldn't.
course.
Make it.
So-
Shout out to
very
my
important.
lizards.
It's not even
To all
seven.
my lizards out there.
Look at
you
the
know.
stance, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty G. It looks confident to me. Yeah, we can't get the shot in there. I don't know why. I pulled it up, I guess, up on a different thing here. I don't know. But I couldn't find it anywhere else.
Well, let's get back to him here.
Let's get it.
The good things in life always happen to other people. They weren't going to happen to me. Because, you know, when you were brought up on in a working class background in the 1950s and 60s, you were pretty much going to go off and work in a factory, or you were going to work in an office or something like that.
Perfect.
But from the earliest age,
Bang, bang with the
when
gang,
I
gang.
realized these options, I thought, I'm not doing that.
All right. There you go. A little star to David Icke. Little something off Icke, huh? It's an interesting character, man. To be honest with you, I really thought all along Plant, you know. But I heard him say on that interview where he's wearing a tracksuit, you know, and he's smiling and he's feeling good about it. You know, he's feeling good about the
He doesn't
situation.
falter at all, dude.
No,
And
and
that
you
guy's
know,
reaming him, bro.
yeah, and they're like making fun. Like he's like everyone's laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
Yeah.
He's like, and he's like, that's okay. That's completely fine. That's completely okay. Right. And this is what I love about this guy is that he's not aggressive and he doesn't force what he's telling you on you. Like he could care less if you believe it or not, but he just wants you to know, right, the truth. And he believes wholeheartedly that everything he's saying is the truth. And, you know, when I seen that he doesn't really care too much about people believing him, that's when I was like, you know, maybe this,
I mean,
maybe
to
this
some extent
guy's
he does,
pretty
right?
genuine.
Because that's how we save ourselves from the Matrix, right? You will have, if in his idea, right? Like if you believe his ideas and like think the way he does, if everyone in the world did, then the Matrix goes away. Like
we
their
would be
power
free
over
from
us,
tyranny.
right? So, but he just doesn't want to force you into that belief, right? That's not how
Yeah.
he thinks that it's going to work.
And I think overall that sends a positive message in general that like he's not aggressively shoving this stuff down your throat. Maybe say like some religions do or some other people who have hidden agendas do, you know. And I don't know. I think he's pretty genuine. He doesn't have an agenda, I don't think, and I don't think he's being fed money to do this. I think that he had a beautiful career throughout his life. He reached a certain point, seen things for what it was worth, and thought that
What about his success in soccer and then being moved over to a BBC?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he was. Well, I mean,
that could have been a little bit of like Illuminati plant activity.
It didn't
you know
have
what I mean?
anything to do with him being a successful footballer, and then him successfully speaking about sports and being such a good deliverer of information.
He's
to
a good
begin
public
with.
speaker.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, don't think like the guy didn't earn it and he wasn't good at what he did.
No. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you could
let's not discredit the fact that he is an
say,
incredible
oh,
speaker.
he got placed there. Oh, this is whatever.
I mean, you can say that about anything
Right,
or
exactly,
anybody.
exactly.
You know, what I mean, you can you could play that card, but I'm saying like when you listen to him speak, genuinely speaking, when he's delivering his message, I feel like he's not trying to force it on you. I mean, he's very passionate when he's speaking about the topics he speaks about. You know, he can come off sometimes, I guess, maybe say mildly abrasive towards the topic and you not knowing about it. But no, I never ever felt like he was coercing you into believing this in.
What about the idea of like, and I'm sure like every like super Christian conspiracy theorist would easily go down this rabbit hole, especially with all of his ideas on like
Religion.
Yeah, and Anunnaki and all this other like alien hybrid stuff and simulation and kind of like a new agey new world or new age
New World Order.
Well, not New World Order, but like new age religion of like, oh, we're all one consciousness. All the frequency stuff.
Yeah, I guess I could see. Yeah,
and how he
the vibrations. He did a whole thing on the vibrations and things vibrating. That's where I was.
He's what's the word for it? not putting down, but not promoting or not revering enough like the Bible and all this stuff, right? And like every fucking Christian conspiracy theorist is like, oh, Illuminati's satanic. They're gonna put down the Bible. They're gonna say that it's like not as truthful, or you shouldn't like look into it too much, or they're gonna try and steer you in a different way, like path, like spiritually.
You're saying you got that from him? He's trying to veer you off on another
well
path?
Yeah, I mean, clearly, right? Like, but I'm not saying that I'm like the Christian conspiracy theorist who's like, Satan, like, you know what I mean? But I could definitely see like them kind of going down this path of like,
I mean,
his non-reverence
because he's saying spirituality, and
right?
maybe,
But
and maybe
yeah,
you could,
and
take
it's not
that.
their one true religion. You know what I mean? It's like they're gonna
Yeah, but
I don't know if they would immediately assume, oh, plant, Illuminati plant.
I think that we live in a world where no matter what you say and no matter what you do, somebody is going to disagree with you out there and have a very passionate reason behind why they disagree with you. I mean, because
instead of saying it's Satan's the deceiver, right, and he's trying to trick you and all this, right, he's saying the archons and the lizard people are trying to trick you and deceive you.
Because that's what he believes to be truth,
right? I'm not saying either are true, right? I'm kind of just trying to talk about like, because for a second there we were talking about, you know, what are some things that could make you think he was a plant, right?
Right. No.
I think from that perspective, you could.
No. No, that I feel. That I feel. Yeah. I guess in terms of him being a plant, that there are definitely some things I guess that you could see, but again, like I didn't take. I mean, you could look and find anything, but I didn't see it as that. Like, I seen him just believing that this was the route that the information was piling up to, and this is what he's seen the information as, and this is he reported it as. You know, I see him as like a Graham Hancock, like same type of thing. Like, he's not necessarily a scientist or an archaeologist or any of those things.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
he's still gonna
heavily researched into it.
Yeah, I mean, and he's been doing this for about 30, 40 years, so he's definitely knowledgeable.
He's written 20-something books.
And then there's some people who say, oh, well, a lot of his work
Chris,
and a lot of his stuff.
Could you get a list of his books?
A lot of his work and a lot of his stuff isn't his ideas. He just took a lot of other people's work and then presented it as his own. I heard some people say some things like that. There's a lot of ideas
about that as well.
But they said the same thing about Chan Thomas. That Chan Thomas was,
Chan Thomas.
Yeah, remember Chan Thomas when we did the Adam and Eve story, the creation story, and the cataclysms, and they were saying that he took
same thing with Blue Beam.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, when it seems like
I'm saying there's money in fucking conspiracies, especially if you're writing 20 fucking books, dude. Like, and I'm sure, and he's popular, dude. So he's got to have made quite a bit of money from these. I don't know if you make more money when you self-publish or whatever, but I think it's only like 2 of his books are published from a publishing company, and then they got like a lot of hate for fucking publishing conspiracy shit. So he had to self-publish the rest of his books. I would assume, here we go, self-publishing.
How many books?
So I guess in 1995, his was his first one.
I mean, he didn't take off until the 90s, so.
It said between 1992 and 1994, he wrote 5 books.
All published by mainstream publishers. 4 in the 1993 Love Changes influenced the channeling work.
Influenced by the channeling work of some chick.
Theosophical. That's what's
super interesting, dude.
That's what's his face's fucking thing. Theosophy. Crowley.
Wow.
So it's like, do you see where like the Christian conspiracy theorist would think that he's trying to send you on the wrong path?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was talking about in one of those videos I was watching that every time he has like an event where he goes to speak or whatever, people call the place where he's speaking and say like he's anti-Semitic and all this stuff.
Yeah, so like when he talks about the Jews or whatever, right? He usually like specifies like there's these ultra Zionist groups, right? Which is like a similarity would be like I don't know, like some extremist fucking Christian group, right? That's like a super Bible thumper, or I don't know,
But the only reason they said it, the only reason they call and say that stuff is because like you said, he does mention Jews in what he talks about, but he's not being anti-Semitic when he's talking about them.
All right, he's trying to like talk about like a specific group of people.
Yeah.
I think he even like says that like they might even like claim that they're Zionist or whatever, claim this thing so that they can have some type of a shield. Like you can't say anything bad about them because now you're being anti-Semitic. So that, like they're gonna say that they're Zionist, right? They'll put up the perception of being Zionist, so that when you.
I'm just surprised. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just surprised that he's still alive from all of the things that you hear him say.
Right.
And you know what I mean. And
he's talking about the royal family. He's talking about every elite family.
I mean, he wholeheartedly is like, no one's gonna do anything to me. Like, I mean, it's just he just believes it. He walks it. He talks it.
Well, dude, he's the son of God.
Good for him. Good for him. I mean, I don't know how.
Well, we all are sons of God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or whatever you identify as. We don't want to get canceled. We don't want to get canceled.
I mean, just looking at this, he's written quite a lot of books.
Quite a lot.
I think it was like over 20. I think that's what I read. It's a tough game, son. 1993. The Truth, Vibrations, in Light of Experience. The autobiography of David Icke. The Robot's Rebellion.
Yeah, he's against AI. He's against the digital monetary system. He's against a lot of things, and he says it's all being implemented to control us. You know, they want us to be controlled. They want us to be divided. They want us to, you know, to be arguing with one another, because if we're arguing about this and we're arguing about that.
I'd love to ask him more about that, right? Like what type of a monetary system should we just go back to trade and barter? Is that the only way that you're not going to be fucking exploited by some ruling class who controls the monetary system?
I think no, because at a point, right, there's so many people. I mean, you could only accept so many of the same things for the same thing you're giving out, right? I mean, wouldn't it have to change? And at that point, people don't barter anymore because someone's always
we're so
losing,
materialistic
right?
now as a society
Wouldn't
that
you,
it's like
wouldn't you feel like when you're
hard to have a barter system?
Right, because someone would always be losing that trade, no? Wouldn't someone always be? Because how could two items be equal?
I mean, it's all on like, you know, what it's worth to you, right? Because we don't have a monetary system of value anymore, right?
So then the value.
Why is the iPhone $1,500? But is it really $1,500, or is that just the price point?
It doesn't cost $1,500 to make, but the fact that everybody wants.
But if you were to trade it, you want a $1,500 value of equal trade, right? But it's just like, you know, like how valuable is, and it's all about like what you need, really, right? Like if we're talking about a barter system, and like I don't know, you're on some like homestead, right? Just trying to live, right? Like the iPhone really isn't worth the fucking $1,500, right? You would want $1,500 of like livestock or something that you're gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the monetary stuff, and like, you know, talking about like questioning capitalism, and
it's easy to just complain about.
Those are huge, yeah. Those are huge, big topics.
It's really easy to complain about something, but
what else does he got?
So much harder to come up with a. You know what I mean?
Other than everyone's just on the same wavelength, and magically the problem disappears.
That's a little crazy to think that, right?
Just laugh. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta laugh.
Stay positive. Stay positive, people, and your bank account will fill up. Manifestation.
Manifest.
Damn, son.
That's a lot
of decimals you just got manifested.
Believe they are free, do not rebel about the fact that they're not. The key to it all, however,
the key, right?
is slavery of the mind. This is a guy called Edward Bernays.
Love it.
He's still known today as the father of PR, what we would call now spin. He said, we are governed, our minds are molded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we have never heard of. People are rarely aware of the real reasons which motivate their actions. He called it the invisible government. It's that which dictates perception. I call it the program. One big program. That's what human life is, if we allow it to be, from cradle to grave.
His mom telling me
and
I
I call this hoax, this program,
part of it,
the postage stamp consensus. This is what people are downloading all their lives if they allow it to happen. Get them early and keep them for life. Wow. It goes like this. You come out of the womb Well, immediately, you are having your perceptions influenced by your parents. Not because they're bad people, not because they're doing it malevolently, but they've been through the process you're about to go through, and they've bought it. They think it's the right thing to do to pass it on to you. And then,
I
ridiculously sort of
100% agree with this.
Just wait. Just let it.
what is it now, 3-4 years? You've come out of the, we've only just bloody got here. And now you're sitting at a desk and an authority figure representing the state is telling you what is, what isn't, what's possible, what's not possible, what has happened, what has not happened, how things are not. They're telling you when you have to be there, when you can leave, when you can eat, when you can talk, when you can...
Like, oh, dude, how would you fucking influence the minds of people and be able to rewrite history? And like you know, our favorite question, how many generations does it take? But it's like, dude,
One.
it's like the whole fucking system to do it is just set up into place, bro. And it's like, it would be so fucking easy, dude. It'd be so fucking easy.
Just let it play out
Dude,
to that
and
end.
it's just like...
We got an end here, David.
go to the toilet.
It's so good.
And then you go through all your formative years downloading this program. I'm on the postage stamp, and it is a desperately limited range of possibility, which runs science, which runs medicine, which runs politics, which runs journalism, etc. And if you stand on the postage stamp, you live in the real world. You're credible. But you step off the postage stamp. Actually, I think there's more to know than just that, you know. You're mad, you're dangerous, you're all these things.
Pseudoscience.
Stop these meetings.
Stop these meetings.
Because the postage stamp consensus is what holds us in perceptual servitude all our lives if we allow it to. And what is the postage stamp consensus? Oh, hold on a minute, I'm getting something. Oh, yes, bullshit. That's what it is. The fewer choices you have, the less freedom you have. And the way the system is structured, money dictates choice in the great overwhelming vastness of human society. And that's why, the real reason why, money is controlled as it is. People say, oh, it's a greed. Well, on one level it is. But the real reason for the control of money and finance globally is control. Now the system says, we have the things you need to survive. So what you do is you do what we say, you work as we say, and then you will earn money from us for buying the things that allow you to survive, and you buy them by giving that money back to us. This is a conspiracy to enslave all of us. And if we don't come together, it will happen. If we do, it will not.
Again, this is his argument, not lizard people, not what he was made to be looked at in the 90s as some kind of
it is.
Jackie Samsonite.
I mean, this is his argument, but the people who put that into place, the ruling elites, are hybrid lizards. That is 100% his truth.
Yeah.
But again, it's kind of like we had a really, I forget which episode it was on, but we had a really similar conversation where we talked about this of like, man, I wish that they could just stick to like instead of it being the Illuminati, instead of it being the lizards, it's just the ruling elite. Like, it's really just that simple. It's just the ruling elite.
But like when you like do the rest of it, it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't,
because like, it's off postage stamp. Is that just a crutch for his argument, so you start believing in fucking ridiculous stuff? Or is it so ridiculous, dude, that it's just...
But can I have proof, though? You know what I mean? I'm not getting... I mean, that's my argument. That's where... I mean, because you can't... Like, at the end of the day, right? Like, you cannot... And I mean, us as people in society, we have to hold others accountable, right? So, I mean, like, if you were to just walk around right now and tell everybody, right, that you have millions of dollars in your bank account, right? And then we say, just show us the decimal points, and you never do. I think at this point am I going to start believing that you have money if you're not spending it?
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree, man. You need something,
so,
but
so then
on some levels, like, you're not going to be able to see.
All right, it's great. It's great that you point out all these arguments in the systems. Right. Which anyone can do, right? Because if you look at a page with a bunch of dots long enough, you're going to be able to find the shape. There'll be an abnormality in there somewhere, okay? There'll be a dot that's different than all the other dots, all right? It'll be bigger, it'll be smaller. You'll find it. It'll be there because you looked long enough, right?
It's just the evidence you're looking for is metaphysical, man. It's like it's not something that you're meant to see. It's not.
I don't disagree with the fact that maybe the monetary system that was implemented a very long time ago may need some changing because times have changed and things change and we move on and elevate into different things. I don't necessarily think that maybe the school system's absolutely 100% perfect and doesn't need to be revamped and refixed and thought about and talked about and sat down and say, all right, well, what do we need to learn moving forward into this new world that we live in and things like that? No, these are all good conversations to have, but to chalk things up to it's because of lizard people is where my argument is just.
Well, it's not just it's because of lizard
it's where
people.
it turns into.
It's because the lizard people need to exert this level of control over you.
I get what you're saying.
So that you are producing these negative vibrations, thus keeping you trapped inside of the matrix. That's like a simplified version of it, right?
But like for your argument, right? You're saying I need the proof, right?
I need something. I need something other than just
in my head,
sketchy YouTube videos of lizard people transforming.
Yeah, like in my head, like another example that like mechanically that I can describe, I guess that's kind of like the similar thing, right? Is like a car engine, right? Like somebody, like a mechanic tells you, all right, there's a piston that's spinning 1,000 RPMs. So it's going in a circle 1,000 times in a minute, but you can't see that happening, right?
But you see the results though, and you trust the results, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So like what he was saying, right? And you guys talked about on the last episode with the whole monetary system and everything being like, the economic hitman going to these countries and saying, hey, I'm going to give you this money so you can give it to this guy, and then this guy's going to, it's just a circle of money, and then this country gets
stuck with the bill.
Debt. Yeah.
Right.
That was like the argument he was pointing out, I felt like in a sense. But like you're saying, like there's results, and he's taking these results and saying that it's because of this, and then he's also tying that dot to this other dot, right?
I like that.
Yeah. But you can't like you're saying, like I want to see the lizard person. But like I want to see how the engine works, but you can't watch how an engine works while what I'm saying. You can't see the inside of the engine while it's working.
I get what you're saying when you wrap it around an engine, right?
Yeah, right.
But
that's
actually
just my like metaphor.
But and that's like the physical example.
But actually, if there was something wrong with that piston, you would be able to tell, and you would be able to see it,
right?
Okay, because you'd be able to see it in the exhaust. You'd be able to see it if you hooked it up to a machine. Okay, you'd be able to see it. There'd be proof, okay, that there's a problem, and that's why the mechanic was able to tell him what or her.
We have proof that we can't
that
see.
It's a problem. No. We have proof that the system is wrong, and I didn't disagree with that. Okay,
No, but like
don't make me fucking repeat myself.
I'm saying just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Okay, and I'm saying just because you fucking say it's there doesn't mean it is.
There. Right. No.
Doesn't mean it is.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, right? But like
and I'm saying that the problem is the system, right? Yeah. Okay, so we can agree with that being the problem.
Right.
I mean, that's the problem that we see, right? But like really the greater problem
is Phantom.
Is right. It would be the fucking ghosts that we're talking about, right?
But so to add to your argument about the mechanic knowing, right, this is something wrong, right? But what if
because it's so easily to be seen, right?
But what if he set it up to break?
A piston is a problem. No, they brought the car in with the problem before he touched it.
Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying, because the process is the problem.
Like how we can't see like heat. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have like infrared vision.
Yeah. Right. No, but you can feel heat.
But you can feel it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, what if there's just something?
So that's proof, right?
But what if
that's not proof?
What if
I can't feel?
What if you're manifesting?
What if the fucking lizards, right, are on some fucking spectrum that like you're just never going to be able to physically see, right? It's just something that's always going to be metaphysical.
You just want me to agree to this?
I don't want you to agree with it.
You just want me to agree.
I don't want you to agree with it. I just want the deniers who are just going to specifically look for concrete proof evidence, and they're never going to consider any of this to be possible. because that there's no concrete evidence, right? Just consider that it's like you're never going to get that concrete evidence, right? Like,
but have we ever gotten anything concrete though? Like about anything? I mean, we did the show on JFK. Do we have concrete evidence? No, we have all the evidence that was presented, and then we gave our opinions on that, right? I mean, but there's still people who believe that the JFK was killed by the mob. The mob rerouted 2 days before. The mob pulled that off. The mob rerouted the route that the president's car drove in, and the motorcade did. The mob did that. The mob did that.
What if they persuaded? What if they're like, hey, wouldn't it be really cool if the car just came right?
Right, because that's reasonable, and that's what the United States government would do, just because somebody asked them to.
Yeah, the 39 Secret Service men that are out at the bar.
We would totally love. We would totally love.
It's just like it's exactly like
the Photoshops.
From the beginning, you're told what's possible and what are the limitations, right? And if the fucking lizards are the one who's telling you what's possible,
so the system is fucked up. So we need to fix the system.
It could be, right? But like,
Eddie, just step off the stamp, dude.
Get off the fucking postmark, bro. Come on, dude. This is conspiracy.
We're about to blow your mind.
Look, I'm blow. Look, I'm just trying to play, okay, devil's advocate over here, and I'm just trying to say that if I didn't have a problem with the system, then where's the argument?
Both sides agree that there's the problem with the system, right? Mm-hmm. Or both sides could agree. Not everyone who doesn't like believe in this fucking global elite controlling society.
Okay, but back to the Lizzies, bro. Back to the Lizzies. You're trying to say we got Liziano Rivera's the greatest lizards of all time and they're running the world, right? And I'm just saying, right, that if you take away the problem of the system, that's the argument. You take that away. Take it all away.
All right.
Take the system away.
We still have the lizards.
Where's the problem?
We still have the lizards.
But where is that? I mean,
apparently in the fourth dimension.
Just vibrating at a frequency that a piston.
Those fourth-dimensional lizards came back here 300,000 years ago and made fucking lizard-human hybrids and put them in charge here. And these lizard-human hybrids have a far greater perspective on us, right? And our perception is still limited. We haven't gained new perception by removing the system. We still have our limited perception, and these people still have more knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. And thus are more powerful and are still going to be able to manipulate you in ways that you can't even fucking comprehend, right?
That's what they're saying. Yeah, that's word on the bricks. Yep, that's word on the streets. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, that you're not going to be able to do anything about it, you know? So why even lose any sleep over it, you know? Just keep going and be the good slave you are.
I mean,
make your money, pay your taxes, get nothing back now.
You have to get an altered You have to get an altered perception from the one they're prescribing you, I suppose, right?
That's his argument.
Yeah.
That how could you not even try to even entertain the notion of another idea, and that you accept this to be the end all be all of all ideas? And basically, he's saying like if stepping off the postage stamp means thinking outside the box. Right. So how dare you think outside the box? When we have people all the time thinking outside the box, that's why society has what it has. That's why we have a curved monitor and not a flat one. Because somebody thought outside the box and said, man, monitors don't have to be flat to look good. Let's make a curved one and see what happens. Yeah. And they made a curved one and they seen what happened. So, at the end of the day, I agree, right? I agree that it's good to think outside the box. These are all good things, right? But at a point, you can't just be walking around saying things with no proof. Do you know what that's called? The boy who cried wolf.
Hearsay.
That's what that's called. So you're out here with the lambs and you're going, there's a wolf, and they're going to come and eat all the lambs. And everybody comes running.
But you can't see the wolves. They're on a different dimensional wavelength. But they are here, and the lambs are threatened.
Now listen to yourself. Now you see how this story sounds? You see how it sounds? You get what I'm saying?
Well, because you guys are all on fucking Village Think. And you're not out here on fucking...
Oh, here we go. You're on Village Time, idiot.
It's like, have you heard... Did you hear David Icke's...
Cancel!
He talked about, like, sheep And he goes, it's funny because everybody in the audience will look at a herd of sheep and laugh at how funny they are because they follow the one shepherd, right? It's a flock of sheep all following the one shepherd.
Yeah.
But they
everyone in the audience laughed.
Yeah, exactly. Like they all do the same thing. Like
Everyone in the audience agreed.
But my question is,
David's a plant.
is it more believable that it's just a group of corrupted people or a group
Of lizards.
Lizards.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
Dude, I've been doing this conspiracy shit for too long, bro, to
Right?
think that it's just a group of elites, man. I'm really dying more to, bro, it's gotta be something fucking wild, bro. It's gotta be something completely off postage stamp, dude.
Cancel.
It has to be, bro. There's no fucking way.
Oh my god, dude.
Clip it.
Please. If in the description down below, please, people, we love you. We love your comments. Keep them coming. Keep the comments coming, people. But down in the question box below, we want to know, do you think that it's a group of Lizzies or do you think that it's a group of a bunch of old, smelly men with too much money?
Why is it so crazy to think it's a group of Lizzies, bro? Because the fucking Illuminati program is telling you to think it's crazy. That's why.
Ladies and gentlemen, David's blood pressure just went up on a high level, so we're just going to have to all agree that that's what it is. It's the Lizzies, so he doesn't get any more higher blood pressure.
For the sake of this show, we're gonna continue on saying it's the lizards.
For the sake of everyone's health on the show, I will quietly disagree in the closet by myself in the darkness. And anyone that would like to come and follow, you can come and follow. Okay, this is going to be a very big closet.
All right, let's see here. What else do we got?
Continue with this.
Yeah. What else we got?
It's the grab.
You know, one of the things that I talk about is non-violent non-cooperation. You know, the few can't control the many
He
unless the
just
many
did a
allow
gravity
it.
bong hit.
I was speaking in Croatia, in Zagreb. And
I
someone
love this
said to
one.
Me,
This
did you
dude's
know
good.
there's a political party here in Parliament that was inspired by your work?
Yeah, like
And
we
of
all
course,
just don't pay our
George
taxes.
Rock,
You know what I mean?
Watch
I'm
that.
not
My name
condoning
is
that donor
Ivan
wrestling.
Perner. I am a member
Not
of
suggesting
Croatian
that as an
Parliament. When I have seen that there are many policies that government execute and people are opposed to, I wondered if it's possible to create a political party which would reflect popular opinion,
love this
popular
guy.
will, and not the will of this elite establishment, so on. And so I decided to
This
create
guy's
my
giving
own
me Chris
party.
Webb vibes.
Our
Chris, you could
party
totally
name
be a
is,
politician.
Živi zid. It means like a living
That's my brother,
wall.
dude.
It came because we were
Without
obstructing
drinking.
evictions because the banks evict a lot of people who can't pay off debt, and we claim
He
that
kinda
in
does
our
look like Derek
debt-based
almost.
Check
Dude.
this out. Check this out. No, no.
debt
Just
can't
doxed
be
him, but
repaid.
fucking.
So they started ringing houses that were about to be foreclosed and the bailiffs were coming.
Look at what the people
with
did.
People who just wouldn't let it happen.
Yeah.
And they streamed this live on the internet and they got a lot of coverage and a lot of interest, a lot of support.
I think the greatest issue is people not knowing how monetary system works. If they would know, they would challenge it, and everybody would live much better.
I really
off.
agree with
But
that.
of course,
I think
the
out of all the ones that are
government
just going to
does not
change
want-
by everyone fucking knowing about it, once you know like how you're getting fucked there and how
How
it
do
was
you pay how do you pay taxes at the end of the year and on every paycheck? How do you pay taxes on your paycheck, every paycheck that you make, and at the end of the year? And then when you go out, anytime you spend your money, you're taxed.
Because you didn't pay enough taxes, but Amazon paid zero. So.
Oh, no, they had plenty of deductions. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all whack, bro.
You didn't deduct it.
Like, dude, like they taxed the tea and there was a fucking revolution, bro. Now 20% of my income just gets taxed, and we're all just like, well,
There's no taxation,
Like,
ladies and gentlemen.
I work 3 months out of the year for
representation.
free, and that's okay.
No
fucking like
taxation.
what, dude?
Because they increased it by 1%.
What's wrong, ER? No taxation without representation. Pooh. I mean, that's what it was about. And they threw the tea in the water. right?
But yeah, you're borrowing money from people who print it out of thin air, paying interest on it, and you have to pay it back to them when they printed it out of thin air. I mean, that's like the simplest way to describe how you're getting fucked, bro.
Right, but how would they make money if they were just printing it from nothing?
Well, what if it was like backed by something?
What would it be backed by?
Something that they
you think
not,
that they're just pulling out gold out of the ground like that?
Well, it could be. Yeah, it could be. It could be gold, but right now it's not backed by anything. That's the whole point.
No, see if
so they literally just get to print it.
That's fucked up.
And sell it to you.
No, seriously, that's fucked up. Yeah, at an exorbitant rate too. They're like, rates are going up this year. I don't know. We're just not pulling in enough money.
Right, like, and that's not an argument for no money, right? That's just an argument for why
Greed.
the current system is fucking a little wishy-washy, bro.
We built this system to help
it seems like a lot of
just me.
Rich people influenced it and are fucking benefiting from it, bro. And for like hundreds of years, they've been doing these fucking central bank schemes all over the fucking world.
We built this system like, just for a
then
few.
It's like, oh, well, that's real interesting.
And not none of you, none of you, none of you, none of you, just a few, none of you.
So, roll clip here. This was getting good.
Real talk.
That's our new song. It's
real talk. Real talk. That's what they're doing to us.
All for me, none for you. Written by Conspiracy Commission.
Yeah, that's ours. Damn, son, hell of a hit.
Continue with this.
Yes. Well, I mean, what's the number say?
Yeah, what's the fucking 7-Eleven receipt paper over there say?
Because what the system wants is this traditional division, or left, right, center, whatever.
Whatever.
Like in Croatia, we would say, I'm Croatian, you are Serb, or you're Muslim, I'm a Christian. And we say, no. We reject that division.
None of that.
We believe in division between top 1% and the 99% who are not at the top and who are being pressure.
Yeah, what if everyone saw that?
The system
it's us versus Illuminati.
They're frightened of us. People ask me, are you afraid? I say, no, they're afraid. Because people don't realize what's their power. They don't understand that it's people who vote elected
I feel like
officials.
this guy would be smiling while he's ripping your fucking toenails off with a pair of fucking
control election process,
vice grips.
If they participate in
Ask
it
me
as
if I'm
voters,
afraid.
They can decide
I am not.
And they can challenge it.
Who is in power? Me. The people.
It just shows the potential.
You are not in power. Tell me what I want.
You're nothing. I am something. All right. What else we got? I mean, that's monetary system in a nutshell, right? I mean, so he's against that, but he didn't say that lizard people are in control of it. Come on, dude. Like, everything's straight lizards.
I mean, literally, yeah. The people who set up our monetary system
if anything,
are the elite families that he claims are.
David Icke, please don't
hybrids.
get upset with me, dude. You're a cool cat. I
think.
like you, but you look
Hopefully
more
I'm
of
not
a lizard. But he looks more of a lizard than.
You know, back when this first started and we were like watching videos and stuff, that was something Eddie said, and it clicked for me for a little bit, right? I don't really see it too much anymore. Maybe a little bit on this freeze frame we got going on. Slightly, but...
You ever see him lick his lip, dude? I'm telling you, straight Lizzie.
I mean, what's fucked up is what gets me is his hand. I know he's got arthritis. I know he's got problems, but...
He's been blocking a lot of balls, you know?
You know, he's talking about a lot of cover-ups.
Maybe he's the cover-up.
What's that saying? Takes one to know one?
Takes a cover-up to know a cover-up. Just kidding, people. We're just trying to have fun here.
We're just joshing.
We're just joshing around. Hell of a guy. David Icke's a hell of a guy. His son seems like a really cool dude. Wife's cool chick, you know. He just believes in some outlandish shit. That's basically what this boils down to. You know what I mean? This is definitely some interesting stuff. I mean, obviously, when you start listening to some of the things he has to say outside the monetary system, it might start getting a little wacky with the lizard stuff that we're just making jokes about. But a lot of the stuff that he's saying is definitely relevant today as it was in the 90s. Run it.
Roll clip.
Tiny fraction of it. This scene from The Matrix is
pause it real quick.
absolutely...
So we got monetary system, and now we got the overall. This is the overall view of like
society structure.
Yeah. So another system, nonetheless, people. We're we're not saying that the monetary system is in control of everything.
Monetary
It's just
school, really. Yeah, monetary school.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about like state a little bit with this previous
because the
guy.
school is programming
Government.
you. School is programming you, right? But the monetary system keeps you locked in to the overall system, which is in his words, the Matrix. Roll clip.
Spot on.
So Morpheus is
Right now,
talking to
we're
Leo.
inside a computer program.
It's the
Is it
white-
really so
white
hard
room.
to believe?
Morpheus and Neo are in a
Yeah, guys, is it really so
A
hard to
computer
believe? Is it really that
simulation.
off postage stamp?
akin to this. And Neo said,
This isn't real.
"This isn't real."
Wow.
And Morpheus said,
What is real?
Hey.
How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Whoa.
and
Whoa.
that is all this reality is.
You've been living in a dream world, Neo.
Huh.
This reality is nothing like we think it is. Up to the 1920s, mainstream science said there was one galaxy, the Milky Way. Less than 100 years later, the highest estimate is 2 trillion galaxies
That's a bit different, huh?
in the universe.
We were wrong.
From
massive one.
1 to 2 trillion
We were
in
wrong.
less than 100 years? As Socrates in ancient Greece is supposed to have said, wisdom is knowing how little we know. Planet Earth is, by comparison, the equivalent of a billionth of a pinhead. Look into
Wow.
the night sky. Look at that blaze of stars and lights.
I can't. There's too many.
Do you see
chemtrails.
everything that exists in the space that you are?
They've stopped me
looking
from
at?
doing this with
And most people would say, yeah, well, of
Societies.
course, mate. Yeah.
endless
and yet,
pursuit to light everything.
That
at
is
night,
not even fractionally true.
which I choose to live in. I guess I could go out to the country.
We were talking about buying a telescope.
Yeah. We keep talking about it.
Dave, you know. Wait.
So this is where
Side-
flat earthers say he's an imposter too, right?
Sidebar. So if you know, like the Samsung phone, it has like incredibly good zoom on the camera, and people have been like zooming and taking pictures of the moon.
The holograph man.
Go on.
So what I found out, and I
Let him
guess
finish, David.
I guess what came out was when you take the phone and you take a picture, the Samsung is actually using like an AI or something, and it's like, all right, it's using your GPS signal to find out from where you were taking the picture, and then it's putting like, okay, this is
It's a
what the-
fucking illusion.
this is what the moon should look like.
It's
from,
a fucking
from where
illusion.
you're at. Yeah, they were tricking people, dude.
Whoa.
They
Did you
was
get
like-
arrested?
Because like it was like a whole pitch for the flagship of the phone was like, oh, it's so good you could zoom in and get a clear picture of the moon.
Right.
But it was really just
A clever marketing scam.
Yeah.
And they're using AI to enhance the image.
they were using
Whoa.
like it was pulling images from Google or whatever to be like, all right,
No way. They lied to us again?
Oh,
No way.
you don't say.
No way. Never happened. No way.
But it's okay because they already bought the phone, so who gives a shit?
Right. And that's why I bought the phone, so I could take a picture of the moon. No. I bought the phone because I need a phone, people. I don't give a shit what it does. Right? It's so fucking smart, isn't it? Isn't it? I got to tell it to connect to the internet. You're right. It's so fucking smart. I'm done.
What do you mean you haven't remembered this fucking password yet?
Right?
I'm typing it again.
Are you serious?
I don't know if you listen to a hacker, dude. They say to get a what is that, password manager? Just another fucking thing you gotta buy.
Password manager. Fuck.
Yeah, what password management company sponsored this hacker, bro?
No one's safe.
Well, he suggested a couple, but
Oh,
No one's
It's
safe.
fucking paid.
he doesn't actually work for him.
It's fucking paid.
No, why would he? He's the one keep them up at night.
Or you know what?
The only reason why they have a job is
He's
because
like,
he
these are the
exists.
shittiest, these are the easiest password protectors to hack into to steal your stuff. You guys should totally use these.
All right, what do we got here?
Dude, I mean this. Nah, I'll tell you guys later.
Too suspicious of this guy. Hacker individual.
Chris is a hacker. No, he's
David,
not.
this is going online, bro. He's gonna find
I
you. dude.
love that.
Right?
Fucking
Your VPN.
that they really were doing some fuck shit like that with the moon, bro.
That's weird.
That's great. That's a fucking
Bro, and it got
Caught in the
it got
act,
so
bro.
many people, dude.
caught in the act.
Man,
Just creating the illusion.
it's fucked.
No way. They would never lie.
This is why I like my iPhone. It doesn't lie to me.
Oh, bullshit, dude. Come on, dude.
Peru
Get out of here.
to Britain.
Just lost half our viewers, bro.
And the book came
Look,
out.
I
Truth
overpaid for a
Vibrations,
phone. Okay,
and
my
I
name
was
is Chris.
invited onto
And I got the Pro Max.
I threw money away.
Pro Max Plus, extra edition.
What's the most amount
Extra
of storage I
elite.
can get? Thank
None.
you.
None.
a
cloud 'cause you can't put a chip in it.
massively,
Right.
popular talk show early evening on the BBC called The Wogan Show, fronted by a guy called Terry Wogan, an Irish guy.
Uh-oh.
According to his book, The Truth Vibrations, the world as we know it is about to end. David Icke.
I remember this very clearly. 17 million people, I
There's
think,
the
was
suit.
the audience. It was absolutely massive. I was sitting there, the audience were laughing.
They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you. Fine.
David Icke, the person who had been the one that I identified with up to that point, was dying 1,000 deaths. And I was thinking to myself,
He's losing his Illuminati
my
program.
life's over.
Then I would. Why should I impose my will?
Shedding.
Why should I try to impose what I'm saying on anyone? They have the right to listen to what I'm saying.
Pause it.
But if you
to
don't-
listen to what
Pause
the
it.
traditional
If you don't
church
give
is
them
saying.
any kind of proof, if you don't give them any reason to believe in you, they
Shut
will
up, Eddie.
dismiss you as a crank.
Let him
which is
talk,
what they're
Eddie.
doing.
Well, that's their free will choice. But
But then, of course, the
That's their free will choice.
This was the quote from like him telling that dude that's what it was for me. That's why I was like, okay. Like he really does he's really not forcing anyone.
No,
but
yeah.
like he wants people to like he wants you to know, right? If you want to know. Like this to him is the truth, and I want you to know if you want to know that this is what I think it is, but you don't have to at all by any means.
I respect you enough
Buy-
as an
buy it,
individual to let
yeah.
you.
And
Make
I
your
just
own
I just
rational
love
choice.
his like he was like, but then you and then this guy's like, but you have to show some proof. I mean, but that's my kind of like argument with is like, where is the proof? You know, I wish I had a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I liked his deliverance on that. He's like,
Got
I'm
to start
not
doing
trying
the
to,
law of attraction and manifestation, Ed.
Yeah, I'll be rich one day.
All right,
Yeah.
you'll
I'm gonna be rich.
record the results.
I'm gonna be wealthy.
You heard it here first.
people. Strange, just mainly because they're not used to thinking outside of a certain, box. if you
Envelope,
will.
if you will.
And I came across these other explanations for reality. I'd been a professional footballer, I'd been a journalist, I'd been a radio reporter, I'd been on television, I'd been in politics in the Green Party. I lived quite an expansive life. I'd never heard of it.
Right.
And my first question, which actually started to lead me into the conspiracy, was why isn't this taught in schools? This is the stadium in which this whole human society is played out, keeping humanity in ignorance of itself.
So we can be used.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole capitalist lifestyle, right? You have to have workers to. Yeah.
So I mean, take it back though, right? Like if this hybrid reptilian race has been doing this for so long, it's not like capitalism is the only system to make it work, right? Like they did like feudal, you know what I mean? Right, where we had the kings and queens.
I think that this was just the most they've gotten with least amount of pushback. You know what I mean? Like if you've implemented so many things over time, I would say that whatever they had prior, it evolved into what we have now, and this is the least amount of pushback they've ever had. But for some reason, when you look at the timeline, we've had more wars than we've ever had before. Now, is that because of the fact that the wars are being pushed and forced upon? and these aren't real wars, and they're not really being had. They're just being manufactured. I mean, what does that show for that?
I think evidence shows that. But just because the evidence shows that, we can try and make like the conclusions on why.
Right.
Oh, they're in control of the companies that sell all the weapons. They're getting impossibly rich off it. Oh, that country didn't have a central bank. Now it has a central bank. Oh, we could try and make those conclusions, and maybe that's the right answer. But maybe again, it's just something like she just said. Like our perception on it is limited. Maybe it is something as crazy as the vibrations that get sent out during that, the human sacrifice that happens during that is somehow valuable to them to advance their goals to, I don't know, to whatever. It's why, David Icke certainly has a extremely open mind on that.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, just like I would say like Stephen Greer does when it comes to, the aliens and things of that nature, how he views the interactions between us and them and things of that nature when it comes to aliens and UFOs. I say Stephen Greer's like kind of like in that same realm, though.
For sure.
But this David Icke is definitely very interesting.
As far as
when it comes to everything that
levels
he
of
about.
control, though, and like when you kind of like hear about like, I don't know, like those 2030 smart city like wet dreams, right, that they have.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude. I mean, it would be crazy if that all that stuff goes off. Like as far as like level of control, you have like an electric currency that they're in control of. They create some new monetary system so that they're just giving you $700 a fucking week. You have to spend it in certain ways. If you don't spend it, it goes away.
It looks like
you're just trapped.
It looks like that's the direction we're going to, like that.
And sometimes like social credit score.
Yeah, social credit score system. I mean, then they would be in charge of your money. They could just turn it on and turn it off. It's crazy. There's just way too much control. I mean, you're going down a dark path like that. I don't understand why people can't just be people and you just live your life. You pay your taxes and that's it. It's like completely getting out of hand, and we're going into a weird direction right now.
I feel like the hard part with this, though, too, is we're getting attacked on so many different fronts. Like
with his ideas, with David Icke's ideas.
No. Just like if this is how it's playing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're attacking us from when we're kids, programming, and then you're locked in because of the society and the monetary system, and it's like if you're not making money, like you don't have a life.
Yeah.
You're just cast aside essentially.
Yeah, you're a bum.
And then, so if you're a bum and all that, and then you have no credibility at that point, nobody's gonna believe you.
Yeah.
This guy's crazy.
It's just the homeless guy on the street with the fucking sign that says the end is near.
Yeah, exactly. But then on the other side, with all the wars that are happening, and there's so many elements and variables at play at one time.
So much conflict in general.
Huge chessboard.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. So as an individual, there's other than projecting positive energy yourself, there isn't much you can really do. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Other than become as self-reliant as possible, right? Because I think a majority of the system of control revolves around playing within the matrix, right?
Well, they're in complete control of everything. They're in control of the food supply. They're in control of the money. They're in control of everything.
Yeah.
So we have to play along to an extent. To
an extent.
To say that,
you'd have to go buy the land to then somehow live off grid, produce all your own food.
For what? You're still gonna have to pay taxes. You can't just.
Yeah.
You have to pay taxes on the land you bought. You own nothing ever. You never own anything. I mean, unless you buy a car, you pay all that off. You own that car, but
no, bro. I'm a
everybody
sovereign
knows.
Citizen.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows that these cars are not even built to last now. You see more cars on the road that are older than you see that are newer. It's ridiculous. They don't even last long. They get into one fender bender, and that's it. The car's totaled. You got to buy a complete new one.
Dude, I wish.
That takes up a friggin' percentage of your friggin' life. Well, you got lucky.
I can't believe they didn't fucking total my shit, man.
Well,
you got lucky. They wouldn't have gave you money.
I don't know. That guy was saying, because this was like when used cars were first like going crazy.
You got
he's
the
like
gap coverage.
He's yeah. I still have the full coverage on there. And he was like, dude, I have a Camry. And he said he did one similar mileage, 2 years older than mine, for like, it was something ridiculous, like 12 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
If I paid like 16 for the car and like 17.50 after the warranty.
Mm-hmm. What was the car brand new?
No, it was 38,000 miles. I mean, at the time the accident happened, it was like 150. I could have got almost
what you paid for
what I paid for it back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
After fucking putting over 100,000 miles on it.
That was just because of the situation and time.
Yeah.
That's what I did with my car, dude.
Yeah.
I sold it for a couple thousand over what I paid for it.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was just perfect time.
And that was like a new car you bought, right?
Yeah. I bought it for like 28, sold it for 30.
Damn.
Shit's supposed to like immediately lose all of its value, dude. Right?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I literally got to drive it for like free for the whole year.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, what do we got? We're veering right now.
We're veering.
We're
that's all the timestamps on the receipt I got here.
That's veering.
We got a couple of these other videos that we didn't look at though.
Well, so this is that other interview from.
Let's talk. I liked what he had to say here. This was pretty good. Play it from like, I don't know, 30 seconds in.
30 seconds in?
Yeah. So this is like younger David Icke, I suppose. Well, just like when he first comes out, I guess. He addresses the Son of God stuff. I think that's important, right?
Yeah.
I think he answered it well.
And this is what media and these people do to try to discredit you. They take something outlandish that you say, and it's funny. There's another video where he was talking about Kanye and Alex Jones and how like they've been discredited because they get so amped and they get so involved in their beliefs and what they're trying to say that they say crazy things.
They get me, bro.
And then those people take those clips, take those little things, and they're like, "Oh, that's how you define that person now." So he comes walking out, and the guy's like, "Oh, so you're the Son of God, huh?" You know? And
he's like, "Let me be clear."
He's like, "Yeah, let me just."
He's like prepping the audience beforehand. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this.
Yeah. He's like, so here he is, David Icke.
You do claim to be the Son of God, David?
Yeah, let's get it right. We're all the children of God.
Let's get it right.
He's like, all right,
shut the fuck up.
Listen here, motherfucker. He goes, I've been through the ringer once already. He goes, and I learned.
We're all created by God.
We take control.
We're created by the thoughts of God. When we
same jacket, by the way. Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Hell of a footballer, huh?
create an energy field. When we think thoughts of love, forgiveness, and peace, and all the things we want to bring to the world, we create a certain kind of very positive energy. When
It's
we
got that
think
zipped up
thoughts of
high, huh?
hate, of
Cold out.
all these other emotions of anger or fear, we
90s.
create another kind of energy, a very destructive one, which, if it's in big enough quantities, destroys the very life force of creation.
Cocaine.
Which comes from the being some call God. The name I'm given is the Godhead. Now, if we can create by thought
Effortlessly.
what can the Godhead do? This master
what can you do,
spirit
Dave?
at the center of all creation. He can
certainly not the
create
Godhead.
almost anything he wishes by thought, and he creates us by thought.
But do you claim to be the Son of God? Because Terry Wogan said to you on the Wogan Show, you claim to be the Son of God, and you said yes.
Well, I am. Yes, I'm saying that. What I'm saying is we're all the children of God. And
Right. That's what you said twice already.
People come to earth. Jesus was one. There were many more before him who are actually part of the soul of the Godhead. It's God incarnate on earth. That's what Jesus was. That's what these other people were before. To try to bring the truth to a planet that has lost that truth for 12,000 years, and as a result of which we have taken this wondrous planet to the brink.
That would be before the youngest dries.
So what is the truth that he's trying to say?
That
we're lizards.
Yeah, that we're being manipulated and harvested for our energy.
Look, whoever allowed him to put that jacket on doesn't love him.
Well, dude, look, this is 1990.
Maybe it's the only jacket he owns.
This is hip. This is hot. This is pop. This is neon.
I mean,
Cancel.
If you ask me, I have 20 gray shirts. So
Yeah.
It's right up my alley.
I like solid colors. I like them solid.
Decent. This was him on Vice.
Oh, Jesus.
And they were talking about he takes him to like this stone where like the satanic sacrifices were
walking
being
through the
had.
fields.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you see these stones.
Right here.
You could see these on May the 1st, Halloween, that kind of, in these ritual periods of the year.
And you'd be a totally different story.
You would see something very different.
So this is the center point of this energy then, that they're trying to tap into.
What they would do, among many other things, you'd have them in their robes and
Allegedly.
hoods all around here, and you probably have, you would have the sacrifice on the slab.
Alex Jones told them everything.
This is their altar, yeah. And what they're doing, it's horrible, but let's get the truth out. What they're doing is manipulating the sacrifice. The sacrifice knows the sacrifice is coming, and who's going to help them? Look,
right.
At midnight or something. No one. And what they then do is they sacrifice the victim, and they drink the blood immediately, which has this
irony
chemical
taste?
substance in it, and they go crazy. I mean, you know, I've talked to people who.
Adrenochrome, right? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, he gets into the whole pedophile elite stuff.
And I just want to point out, this was 10 years ago that he was saying this. You know, so 10 years ago, you'd probably be like, all right, this guy's a whack job.
But you say it now, it makes sense.
Now there's South Park episodes about it, so, you know.
Oh, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Maybe they got rid of that one.
Fuck.
Oh, this was him talking about...
This guy loves this, David Icke.
Yeah, this London reel.
Yeah, they were talking about like a bunch of freedom of speech here stuff, which I thought it was good. It was great. You know, it's the classic. I respect, you know, your right to say something even if I don't agree with it.
Right, exactly. And he was talking about how he was trying to get back on Twitter, but they wouldn't let him.
Yeah, Twatter wouldn't let him back. And
Even after Elon got him.
Yeah, he talked to Elon Musk. He filed for a new joint. They made a new name. They took the new name down a day later.
Yeah, they still said
and
no.
they still denied him to come back. That's how you know he's speaking truth. And what's going on with you, Elon Musk? Why are you doing that?
But see,
huh?
just
Why
like,
you saying one thing, Musk, and then going to do another, Musk? Come on now.
But just like he was saying in...
You're recorded, we know.
In 1991. Just like he was saying back then. Like, they're laughing at me. That's fine, dude. I'm just here to spit facts and move on. And that's what he kind of... That's like his feeling about that. Was like, all right, I can't get on Twitter. Cool. You know? I'll just keep doing my thing, you know, like unfazed, you know, and that's a level of truth that's unheard of. I feel like
it's undeniable.
Yeah. Even people who are telling the truth have a hard time of coming to that sort of realization, you know. Mm-hmm. I didn't really get into this one, but more of the positive. You know, being good and right and positive has bigger effects than you probably think.
I'm very surprised he's still living, because you hear him talk about a lot of stuff. Like if anybody starts to dive deep into David Icke and a lot of the things that he says, he starts saying some stuff, man, and you definitely would think like.
Maybe that's how he keeps himself alive. He sprinkles a little lizard in there, sprinkles a little Satan, you know.
Just a little bit here, a little bit there. Crazy. Crazy, bro.
He's like, for sure they'll be able to tell.
Dude.
For sure no one's going to think actually lizards. Come on, guys. I'm talking about real shit.
And here we are, 2023. Dude, they're fucking lizards, bro.
Just can't see them vibrating, that's all.
Whatever.
What proof do you need, Eddie? Can't you feel it?
Yeah.
Can I see a forked tongue
Are
or
your
something?
feet on the ground, dude?
Yes. Actually, I'm not touching the ground.
I'm levitating. Did you want to touch on this? I just saw it. The Saturn
moon?
Yeah, maybe it's in here.
That's David's
the Saturn moon matrix.
Yeah.
That's David's whole thing he loves.
This was interesting.
I mean, this goes right up the alley of the lizards.
Icke suggests that the Earth and the collective human mind are manipulated from a moon, a spacecraft, an interdimensional portal to that the reptilians control. The moon matrix is a broadcast system from that spacecraft to the human body, computer, specifically to the left hemisphere of the brain, which gives us our sense of reality. We are living in a dream world within a dream world, a matrix within the virtual reality universe, and it's being broadcast from the moon.
Here we go. Here we go. Go on.
He likes to think big, you know. Unless people force themselves to become fully conscious, their minds are the moon's mind. Will Storr, writing for the Sunday Times in 2013, ponders if Icke's ideas suddenly pop into his head. On page 299 of The Human Race, Get Off Your Knees, Icke writes about working at his computer on the book and having the overwhelming feeling out of nowhere that the moon was not real. By real, I mean not a heavenly body, but an artificial construct or hollowed out planetoid that has been put here to control life on Earth, which it does, right? Maybe he's just, trying to play off like all like the weird fucking stats that the moon has, with like its rotation, how it's perfectly tidal locked to us. We're never going to see the backside,
That's interesting.
They landed the spacecraft on there, rang like a gong, like it was hollow.
That's interesting.
So where did we leave off here?
Oh, I jumped. Sorry.
We're going to go back to that one you were at too here in a second. Should we do the 5G and COVID as well?
Sure.
No, let's just leave the COVID alone.
So it's the idea is further explored in Icke's Remember Who You Are,
call.
Remember Where You Are, and remember
Somebody's got to
where
play
you
daddy in
come
this
from.
goddamn fucking...
Where he introduces the concept of the
fucking Christ.
Saturn moon matrix. In this more recent conceptualization, the rings of Saturn, which Icke believes were artificially created by reptilian spacecraft, are the ultimate source of the signal, while the moon's functions as an amplifier, like an antenna, that's why it's like all hollowed out, right? It's perfectly positioned for to broadcast to all of us. He claims that the frequencies broadcast from the hexagonal storm in Saturn are amplified to the hollow structure of our artificial moon, keeping humanity trapped in a holographic projection.
Am I allowed to just ask how the fuck? Like, how the fuck did you... Oh, come on now.
Dude.
He literally admitted...
We gotta do...
He was a goalie to a football team, right? He played soccer.
I mean, he explained why where he got the evidence.
It just came to him.
He got hit.
It popped into his head.
Overwhelming feeling that out of nowhere that the moon was not real.
Listen, he got hit in the head with a ball a lot, right?
I mean, when you smoke a joint, a thought like that comes into your head, dude.
Dude, when I smoke a joint, I want
You immediately write a book about it and write a fucking
something.
second one as well.
I want to go eat something. You know what I mean?
And then while you're eating, you're like, dude, the moon's not real. Why did we never go back? It's because there's reptilians on the other side drilling into it, making a...
What's a lizard
30
got
million
to do with it? Got to do
mile
with
fucking subwoofer.
What's a lizard got to do with it? Got to do with it? It's controlling.
I'm sure we'd have to actually go
our
listen to him
reality.
to see some good 5G COVID-19 connects. I
Yeah.
doubt fucking
Let's just go past that. We're going to pass COVID and 5G.
Here we go, the best part, reptoid humanoids.
That's what's better than COVID and... Yeah.
Icke believes that an interdimensional race of reptilian beings called the Archons have hijacked the Earth and are stopping humanity from releasing its true potential. He claims they are the same beings as the Anunnaki, deities from the Babylonian creation myth, the Unama Illis, I'm sure I butchered that, but and the fallen angels, or the Watchers, who mated with human women in the biblical Apocrypha.
Who wouldn't?
I think that I heard somewhere on a TikTok that used to be a book in the Bible too, the Apocrypha.
There it is.
There it is. Bang bang with the gang. There
But
you go.
there are books that thought to have been
You know who
written
took it out? The
sometime.
Vatican. They took it out, bro.
No way. They're not in control, are they?
The fucking lizards.
They're lizards.
I mean, I heard that Pope was a good guy.
He believes that a genetically modified human/Archon hybrid race of shape-shifting reptilians, known as the Babylonian Brotherhood or the Illuminati, manipulate global events to keep humans in constant fear so the Archons can feed off the negative energy this creates. In The Biggest Secret, one of his books, Icke identified the Brotherhood as descendants of reptilians from the constellation Draco and said that they live in caverns inside the Earth.
Well,
here's a direct quote from an interview, apparently. Scroll down a little bit here. Thank you. When you get back
Don't mention it.
back into the ancient world, you find this reoccurring theme of a union between non-human race and humans, creating a hybrid race. From 1998, I started coming across people who told me that they had seen people change into a non-human form. It's an age-old phenomenon known as shape-shifting. The basic form is like a scaly humanoid with reptilian rather than humanoid eyes. So, yeah, I mean, he's had fucking crazy fucking people come up to him and be like, dude, I've seen the reptilians. They shape-shifted before me. I'm living to tell the tale.
yeah, but if I tell you
Allegedly.
if I tell you I'm dressing up in a tinfoil suit every day because I'm getting hit by energy weapon beams, you're gonna knock me around. Come on, Dave.
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe that, but you're gonna believe this. You see what I'm saying?
I
Just
mean,
because
I
you're
didn't
respecting where
I
it's
didn't
coming
completely
from.
discredit it.
All right, but you're You're 100% on board
With what?
with the lizards.
Oh no, I'm not 100%.
Okay, all right. No, I'm just curious. I'm asking.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I
Like,
wish James was here to just break up some of this misinformation.
Where's the lizard when I need him?
I would say I'm 100% on board with it being a possibility.
Okay. No, you just clarify. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, before you're all aggressive and yelling.
Well,
at me.
no, I mean that was great though, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. You slid right in there.
Yeah, it was great.
But I'm on board.
But yeah, I'm totally on board. For sure.
I'm not confirming nor denying.
Look, I am on a corner of this stamp. I'll tell you that. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Oh my God, like, dude, just play that clip right there. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. They're just throwing it in your face, Eddie. Look at this.
Wait, we gotta fast forward to where it gets good.
It's a lizard people conspiracy. Inside Job, Netflix.
Yeah, great show if you haven't seen it.
If you're trying to giggle.
Yeah, if you're trying to get a few laughs.
If I'm not on here making you giggle anymore and you need to giggle, this is one that'll help you out with that.
I've ever seen out of Mark Zuckerberg.
So the song Shake It Off was about how I shed my skin every 1,000 years. And the song Bad Blood was about how I drink blood out of my Grammys.
Taylor Swift, the Queen.
Allegedly.
For Paul Rudd. I gave you my kidney, and it was delicious. Reagan, meet my favorite reptoid zentitives, Barb Shrike and Zarthax Griswold Walton of the Reptoid High
Whoa.
Council.
Good evening,
Griswold
your,
Walton.
lizardness.
Oh, we're not that important. It's not like we control the world.
All rise for the reptilian anthem.
Right. Drop that hard shit. Oh my God. The DNA in that room.
Hey, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Reptoids had had a great decade.
The
Thanks
pyramid.
to propaganda in the media, we have made society more tolerant of our kind, from the Geico gecko to the shape of water. We even got K-Rool.
The way of water.
Yes, we did it, everyone. The world temperature is rising. The time is coming, brethren. Soon we shall fulfill the prophecy, overthrow humanity, and become the true rulers of the world.
They say that every year, but they're never gonna do it.
Wow.
Pretty funny.
Well.
Pretty funny.
Lizards it is, huh?
Probably a good way to end it off, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's a great video to end.
So serious, that last video. There's so much substance to it.
Oh, if you can't joke about it, then what are we doing?
Right. Right. I mean, it's just far-fetched. Remember I tell you that they had, like, the trains underground to meat markets because they were chopping up humans so the lizards could eat. So, you know, they got these meat trains and then this butcher to butcher, you know, and the lizards go in there and that's where they get the meat, you know, they're able to eat the meat and all of that. There's this lady telling that her husband was the meat market owner. And she tells the story, yeah. You know, that, you know, there's a tunnel underground, the train pulls up, you know, they buy the meat or whatever, and they take it and get back on the train and go.
Dude, that is the most claustrophobic
Lizards.
shit ever, dude.
Underground Lizzies.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.
Big shouts out David Icke. Incredible
Big
show.
shout out. 20 books. Go check out some of his ideas. They're wild.
Definitely. As wild
Change
as
your perspective. Get off the postage stamp.
wild as David's
Consider
haircut.
something new.
Open your mind.
Let
Shed your skin, lizards.
Let your hairstyle be free.
Let's get down to business.
This is the Conspiracy Commission Podcast.